We are going to continue now with Bible 101, and this will be number 15, and of course it will go in the seminary folder. Now, where we left off last time was talking about Jesus, and we got through quite an amount of that. So what I'm going to do this time is continue where we left off, because we had been right at the end of something we had said about Jesus. Now we're going to continue with that, where it says, "Beyond then this, the eyes of Jesus see us even more fully. It is best to express this by a simple line from an essay written in New York City in 1929, where it says, 'Every man is not only a book, but a scripture.'" Think about that. Every man is not only a book, but a scripture. This is by A. Orange, Orange, How to Read Man, in his book on love and psychology. Now, he was a pupil of Maurice Nicole, who was a pupil of George Gurdjieff. Now, as with John the Baptist, Jesus also baptized and taught metanoia and added rebirth. Now, first, baptism equals preparation for truth and community. Second, metanoia means complete reversal of mind. Third, rebirth equals death of self, birth of self, humiliation for the birth of love. Jesus, and I parenthesize, I break them in half, Jesus and Christ, also was an object lesson in his life drama. He is a special kind of unified being. One could say he was what he taught. He was what he taught. He was an idea in the form of a person. He did what he said. He was the process of making the human divine. He taught this process and lived it out as an example or model of our own inner potential and outer action. Now, divine human, inner, outer, teaching, life, love, wisdom, presence, attention are some of the expressions of the poles of united in his life drama process. His method of teaching includes baptism, healing, verbal teaching, dramatic actions, challenge, confrontation, parables, paradox, presence. Jesus was focused, united, and perfectly flexible in light of circumstances as they arose. Each and every event became for him the possibility for a teaching or an example. He never made a move that was not related to his mission. He was in the constant presence and unified attention, which allowed him to be transparent to God. In Buddhist terminology, he was perfectly centered. What is unique about Jesus Christ is that he was not born like this, as many Christians are taught to believe. The very part of his object lesson is the necessity of being human. With the knowledge and struggle with temptation and the stripping away of the layers of conditionings which hide the inner divine in people, he was not sinless. Sin equals in Greek to miss the mark. The temptations and struggles are the very ones we all have in the process of our personal mission. We must learn not to miss the mark and to strip away conditions. In so doing, we unite in our person our portion of the earth with heaven. Now, what I say here is Jesus self-perfected in a process of unifying the divine with his human, opening again to the humanity the possibilities of inner evolution of the human to the divine. This restoration of the way gives the whole reason for human existence. The way I quote there because the way is what some of the first Christians were called. They were not called Christians, they were called the way. Also, the Tao Te Ching is called the way. The comparison between Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching and Jesus actually are quite remarkable if one gets into it. Now, the whole reason for human existence is humans are bridges between the material and the spiritual. Each of us is designed by God to perform his or her role all as this bridge. Each of us is a potential of a unity of the body of God and angels in heaven of his being. Jesus' teaching life says the process in words, and the words are in his activities. Now we will continue shortly from where we left off.